Begging? Boy, I better not catch you up here begging for no. The age of chasing is over. Nigga, consent is everything. If you gotta beg, she don't want you. Don't do this. My young men, do not listen to women like this. They're gonna set y'all up for failure. They're gonna set you up for failure. Seen a woman spit some great advice. She said, why are y'all chasing women when women don't run from the they want? You don't gotta beg a girl to do something she already wanna do. So what are you begging? It's coercion. No means no, and if the vibe is off, the vibe is always gonna be off.
Okay, no problem.
Wait, that's it?
Huh?
That's all you gonna say?
Did you want me to say something else?
I mean, no, but guys usually keep trying, get mad, call me out my name or something.
You wanted that?
No, I was just pointing it out.
Oh, okay. That's it?
So you just gonna go about your day?
Yes. What do you want? Do you want something?
I'm confused. Are you healed or something?
No. Did you want me to chase you?
No, you just gave up so easily.
If somebody tell me they're not interested in me, I'm not gonna keep trying. Like that's how people get hurt.
Okay, but applying pressure is a thing.
Yeah, I apply pressure to people that want me back.
I bet you different. I think if a man wants something, he gonna go after it.
I do go after what I want, but that want has to want me back. I'm not gonna be chasing after the rejected. That's stupid.
The fact that there's women out here that think like this, they string you along is what they're doing. They say men are terrible people. They say that they're just manipulative and they're narcissists, but then they use you for as long as they want to use you and they throw you away. And then somehow, some way, you're still the problem in all this.
Ladies, because this past weekend, I experienced what it was like to reject a man and have him just walk away. No, come on, baby. No trying to coax me into anything. So ladies, have you experienced this? I would love to know in the comments what your experience has been from rejecting a man.
Why is this even a video? I think at some point in time, modern women just need to learn to just let things be. Just let it ride. Not everything is about you. It's just not. Guys think that you're the main character in every scenario.
Because rent is your duty. I could spoil you, buy you gift. That's it. That's different. But I won't pay your rent.
Why you not paying my rent?
I can't.
Why?
What am I doing? I don't understand. I'm going to wake up
You're taking responsibility of your girlfriend.
No, you're not my responsibility. My daughter is. Your father should be taking care of you.
Husband will literally have to guide you through the death of both of your parents. So choose that man wisely. Like, yeah, muscles are cool. But can he sit with you in a hospital waiting room for 6 hours without making it about his fantasy football team? Okay, you're out here picking based on who you think looks hot in a backwards hat. Okay, these are outrageous times. How did we get to this point? Meanwhile, the real test is, can you trust them to talk to your dad's doctor when you're feeling too overwhelmed to do it yourself? And to ask the right questions, remember what was said, understand it, and then help you through it. Okay, it's not just about good morning texts and matching Halloween costumes. It's, hey, I called the funeral home, so you didn't have to do it. Okay, that's trustworthy. That's a quality to look for. Look, nobody's perfect. Everyone will slip up and disappoint you sometimes. But start being serious. Okay, start figuring out what really matters in life. Be picky, real picky, but about the right things. Not about how he dresses or how nice his forearms are. Because one day, I promise you, life is gonna body slam you with grief. And the guy who only brings vibes is gonna fold like a lawn chair.
I think the reason a lot of men only take advice from other men on how to get women instead of actually listening to women on what we want is because they don't actually want to be desired by women. They want to learn how to hold power over women.
At this point, y'all are really just getting on there saying just anything and everything. It is true that there are some men out there that are just talking nonsense, just leading men astray. But there are also a lot of guys out there that are saying, hey, brother, don't do this. Don't get involved in this. Save your money, save your time, save your mental energy, work on this, build this, and this is how you get to where you want. y'all like to think that men are bums, but that lets me know that y'all really don't understand the world that men live in and what they do with their time.
Such thing as a woman having high standards. It's men who have high entitlements and low effort. We're not buying it anymore. Thank you.
Is this bare minimum or princess treatment? So if he does this stuff, is it bare minimum, princess treatment? Buying your favorite snack just because?
Bare minimum.
Writing a love letter?
Oh, I think that's princess treatment.
Princess treatment.
Okay. Carrying your bag when you ask?
When you ask, bare minimum,
Bare
man.
minimum.
Okay, cool. Buying you food when you're sick?
Bare minimum.
Bare minimum.
Okay. Asking if there's anything you need before he comes over?
Bare minimum.
Heating up the passenger seat before you get into the car?
Bare minimum.
I don't care for that.
Bro, I'm anemic, you should know.
This is anemic. Okay. Opening doors for you?
Bare minimum.
Bare minimum.
Getting out of a car to open your door?
That one's
Getting out of the
princess.
car?
I don't want it though.
I don't think it's the bare minimum, but I don't know if it's I don't know. Princess treatment.
Buying you flowers randomly?
Bare minimum.
For me, it should be the bare minimum, but it seems like that is princess treatment.
Picking you up?
Buying you flowers randomly is bare minimum. All right. What else?
For dates?
Princess treatment.
Princess treatment.
Dropping you home from dates?
Bare minimum. Sorry, I just registered. Date with the person.
Picking you up for dates?
Oh yeah, bare minimum.
That's princess treatment.
Yeah.
Dropping you home from dates?
Bare minimum.
Princess treatment.
Because
of where I live.
Picking you up when you're not together. So let's say you're out with your girl.
Princess treatment.
Yeah, princess treatment.
That's princess treatment, man.
Starting a new challenge where I say good things about men. Because I need to find a good man. There are good men in the world. Let me restart. There are good men in the world. Okay. I am going to find an amazing man. Men deserve.
I see men are a joke to you. And when you get played like a fiddle, then all of a sudden you're upset. But, you know, this whole relationship thing, this whole commitment thing, it's just one big game to you. So, once again, don't be surprised when people take you as a joke.
Nothing makes me happier than when I'm out in public and I'm walking past a man and he looks at me from the front, and then I can already see his head is starting to turn to look at me from the back, but there's nothing for him to see because I'm not dressed in a way for him to get that satisfaction to look at my body that way. I don't know. Me personally me, the male gaze is something that makes me sick to my stomach. I can't even describe in words how it makes me feel. I think it's ever since I was a little girl, men would look at me that way. And ever since I was a little girl, it just disgusted me. I think that's why I personally dress super like baggy and not revealing, because I just hate that feeling. There's a difference between a man admiring your beauty, you know, like, look, I'm a beautiful woman. I know that. I go in public, men look at me all the time, but there's a difference between a man just admiring your beauty and then them being nasty. And that's the part that makes me feel sick to my stomach. So when I'm dressed modest, when I'm dressed not super revealing, and they try to look, are you looking for something? Did you forget something? You know, like, it just feels, it's such a good feeling, you know. Me personally, oh my god, how many times can I say personally? But when I see a woman that's super beautiful and she's dressed modest in public and she's confident, and because like, it's like she knows, like, I know what I got, I know what I look like, what my body looks like, but it doesn't mean everybody needs to see that. I don't need to show everything to feel like something, you know what I mean? Like, and I love it when I see other women in public dressed modest, you know, dressed. Okay, everyone has a different opinion, different version of modest. For me personally, that's just like not super revealing, you know, about like crop tops, super short shorts, like really colorful, bright, like, you know, everyone has their own idea of modest. But when I see another woman like covered up, you know, like, even, and she's confident. I can see she's confident, but she's not putting it all on display. Mad respect. So that's it. I just need.
Everybody has their own version. No, they don't. Or else you wouldn't be saying, hey, I wear baggy clothes. I don't have my chest just out everywhere. That's pretty much everybody else's standard. It's a little bit changed here and there, but for the most part, everybody pretty much has the same idea that you do. Why do you have that tight stuff on? Everybody can see your print. They can see your behind, your crack. They can see basically your entire chest. Why are you doing that? So no, Nobody else really has a life-changing, such a different opinion about what modesty actually is. They know. They're just doing it because they want validation.
Saying is that men need to enter every relationship with women skeptical.
Skeptical. Yeah.
Skeptical and assume that they deserve less unless they prove that they deserve more. That's what I'm saying. And there's nothing wrong with that because men have to perform.
Yep.
You have to come up to her, tell a funny joke,
Yep,
be interesting, be charismatic, be charming. Why can't we put standards on women? I'm simply telling guys to put standards on women because we don't put standards on them. That's why they behave the way that they do.
3 years old, and I've been single off and on for the past little bit more than 3 years. I talk about this a lot on here, but a lot of people say to me, what's wrong with you? Something's wrong with you if you're single at 43. And most recently, the last person that I dated, he was much younger than me. He said, my friends and family sometimes say, be careful because she's 43 and single for a reason. And when he said that to me, he said it with trepidation because I think he thought that would hurt me. And it didn't, and it doesn't. Because I think for something to actually offend you, oftentimes it's because it's something that you believe about yourself. And that is not something I believe about myself because I know why I'm single at 43. And there's a lot of reasons. But the biggest reason is that I was committed to somebody else for a very long time. And it didn't work. And that's okay. And that leads me to the sage. Now, it's been 3 years since that relationship ended, a little bit more. And it's not like in those 3 years I went out and was on dating apps and trying to date whoever just to have a man in my life. No, I took time to understand me and my patterns and my insecurities and for me to build a confidence and a love for myself.
Well, I think what they're saying is, what were you doing before 43? Because then if you say, well, I spent a few years wasting my time, that would be 40. What were you doing before the age of 40? You had your entire 20s to figure out what was going on. And then you slide into your 30s. What were you doing in your 30s? At that point in time, we're looking at 20 years, 2 decades of you playing around and messing around. I think that's what they're getting at. Even if you spent your entire 20s messing around, let's go for the ultra example. Let's say you spent your entire 20s just being with every single guy. And when you hit your 30s, like a lot of women do, you say, you know what, I want to settle down. You're 10 years past that. You're at 43 now. And now you're saying, well, I'm 43 and single because I wasted time with this man. Well, you still, even if we take 8 years, what is that? 3, 5, 35? Weren't really, you still have 15 years coming out of high school. You still have 15 years that you were doing whatever you were doing. That's what men are trying to say. What are you guys out here doing? What are you guys out here up to except wasting time? No matter the way you slice it, there's a lot of women, and I'm not saying you specifically, but I'm just saying there's a lot of women out here that waste a lot of time, and then they try to give excuses and examples of what happened and why it happened and reasons and stuff like that. No, you were out here wasting time. You don't like a man that wastes time. And when a man says, sounds like you're wasting time, I think we're going to have to go ahead and end this, which sounds like what his family is saying. Then you're like, well, this is why I was doing it. That still is not going to cut it. You were out there wasting time.
I don't know if I'm going to actually post this because this is super vulnerable for me and I'm a pretty open person. But earlier this year, I told my husband I wanted a divorce. And this would probably shock a lot of my friends and my family because I hadn't told anybody, okay? I walked myself through the logistics of where would I live, how would we split the time with the kids, who gets the dog, where all of those things, okay?
Imagine saying, my family and friends don't know that this is what I was thinking about, to 2 million people, just so your family and friends can have the pleasure of being blindsided at Joe's Cantina on a regular Tuesday trying to enjoy some queso and chips and some margaritas. What a loser.
Okay. Had a full breakdown. I feel like I have been searching for something in my relationship that we don't have for the whole time we've been married, which has been 10 years. There is not a single thing about my husband in and of himself that I do not love. Let me be very clear about that. He is the most self-disciplined, loyal, hardworking, good person that you could meet on this planet. And that is probably the reason why I have not left. Okay. Our relationship and what my expectations are for my marriage and what they always have been.
So basically what I'm hearing is that you haven't been able to find somebody better than him. That's really the only reason you're staying. Yikes.
Are not met, right? Which I don't know if anybody's are. The reason that pushed me to even bring up divorce and talk about it was the fact that I feel like I can't be myself with my husband. And it's really confusing because I'm 32 years old. I am a mom of 3, and I still don't know who I am. So for me to be like, oh, I can't be myself, or you don't love me for who I am, isn't really fair because I don't know who I am. I'm figuring that out every day. But the reason why I wanted to share this on here in the first...
So it's his fault that you don't know what the heck you're doing and your head is in the wrong space. You got to divorce him. You see how stupid that sounds?
Place is, we are coming up on our 10-year anniversary. We're going to Mexico, to Cabo, for our 10-year anniversary trip. And we're rewriting our vows. We never wrote vows in the first place. We didn't have vows when we got married. And I'm struggling to write my vows. Like, to write a vow. And I think that's because I still feel very unsure in our relationship. The one thing that we finally talked about this past week together, because it's just been something that since we kind of talked about it and I brought it up and we committed to change and we committed to working on our relationship, I started my own business. He quit his job. Roles have changed. Life has been crazy. And we just haven't come back to talking about this subject. And I brought it up again because I'm like, I'm going to be honest with you, like, writing these vows is hard. I don't feel like we're any closer. I don't feel like anything has really changed since I brought this up 6 months ago, 9 months ago, whatever. And I want to work on our relationship. Like, at the end of the day, of course, I could get a divorce and try to go find the love that I'm craving with somebody else. But that's going to come with its own hardships, its own complications, and ones that I'm not willing to take on, right? I love Ryan. He is the best father, okay? I just need to learn how to explain what I need from him in our relationship, and he needs to be able to give that, and I need to be doing the same for him.
So basically this man is on a performance improvement plan that he isn't even aware exists. Well, I just told him that I was feeling this way and I need to be given this. Bull crap. Bull crap. They say this stuff. They've been watching too much TV. Bull crap.
So that we can both, like, in 10 years from now, in the next 10 years, look back and say, like, we put in the work and we finally have the marriage and the relationship that we have always wanted. And that is what I want. I guess the reason why I'm coming on here, and if you've made it this long, that's really nice. What have you done in your relationship to get to that point? If you have been in a place where we are and have worked through it and have found things that have brought you closer or that have given you that relationship, like, I'm just, I guess, asking for advice. Like, what have you done in order to get there and what has worked for you? We're honestly willing to try anything. We have done therapy and counseling before, and it was fine, honestly. It wasn't like my favorite thing, but I'm willing to try that again. And I don't know, books, podcasts, like what have you guys done that has worked for you to get your marriage to where you want it to be? I just don't like thinking, okay, we've been married for 10 years and we've kind of like been at this same point the whole time. I just don't want to look back 10 years from now and not have tried my best to have this like relationship that we both want and that we deserve and that our kids deserve to see in us. So I'm kind of being vulnerable and posting this on here, but I would just like to know, like, what has worked for you and what advice, I guess, you would have for me. Thanks.
Have you tried love? Have you tried actually liking the person that you're with? I don't know. Maybe start there. You're not actually stagnant in your relationship. You started a business. He's quit working, trying to take on a little bit more of a role around the house. That sounds like not one, but two major changes that y'all are going through. So you're going out doing your business. Well, I'm a mom and I'm trying to figure out who I am. You're a businesswoman right now. That's who you are. So you need to figure out how to be a businesswoman. He's figuring out how to be, I don't know if he's a stay-at-home dad, but he's figuring out how to do that whole thing, how to take on more of a role with the kids. It sounds like from the little bit of information that I have from you that y'all are changing in your life. There's a lot of big changes that you're going through and you need to give yourself time to adjust. I don't know where divorce came from. I don't. It just seems like it's misplaced. It seems like at this point, I gotta be missing it. Because it seems like it's so out of place. It just out of nowhere. It's something that would blindside somebody. It's like divorce. Where does that come from? How do we get there? Like I thought we were doing good. I thought I was responding to what you wanted. I thought I was loving you how you wanted to be loved. Yeah, well, I've changed my mind now. I want to be loved like this. Up to a certain point, yes, but sometimes these women like to throw around their feelings and emotions, and the man starts following those, and he loses track of what he's supposed to be doing. And some of these women are so selfish that they think it's the right way to go. Well, you're not doing enough of this. You're not doing enough of that. And they become sort of like a professor, like a teacher of sorts, where they're giving you a grade, and then every 3 to 6 weeks or however long it was in school, you'd get a report card, or in college you get like, I don't know, something, I forget. I've not been in college for a long time, for a while, I guess. Yes, like 10 years now. That's depressing. Anyways, they give you like what I really can't remember what they gave, and I guess at the end of the year, well, I guess you'd be able to keep track of your grades and whatnot. So the man has to essentially log in to this website where they have all the grades posted and kind of figure out what he's doing. And then he's got the syllabus, so he's going along with the syllabus. Well, this counts to this, and this is this much weight, and he's got to keep track of all of that stuff while the woman is just frolicking around, swimming, going to tennis lessons, going to knitting classes, hanging out, going to brunch and all that stuff. She ain't got a care in the world. And then she can just come back at the end of the semester or whenever report cards are coming out and say, oh, you made a C on this, you need to try harder. And the man that made A's and everything else, oh, you made a C. I mean, you did great in all this other stuff. That's essentially what you just said. Oh, you made an A. He's a great husband. He loves me. He does this for me. But I still feel like it ain't enough. What? That's got to be a nightmare. That's got to be a nightmare for somebody to blame you for something that you have no control over. All I can do is love you to the best of my ability. You need therapy. Oh, I guess it's okay for us to go to therapy. What book? It don't matter what book, what therapy session, what therapist, what psychologist, what psychiatrist, what doctor, what counselor, what pastor, what prophet. It don't matter. You need to sit your behind down and figure out what it is that's going on with you so you can stop blaming him for that stuff. Well, I don't even know myself, so I can't even tell him how to love me. Then what you talking for? What you running your mouth for? You don't know. What you got to say? You don't got nothing important to say. You don't even know how to tell them how to love you because you don't know what you like. You don't know where you're going. You're directionless. And this is why marriages crash and burn. You got one person knocking the person that's got a vision out the driver's seat and say, let me drive for a while because that's what I want to do. Well, do you know where we're going? No, but I don't need to know. I want to, you just stop talking to me. I want to explore. Shut up and get out the driver's seat. We're not here to explore. We're here to go. So we're trying to get to a destination. It's okay to explore, but when we get too far out of the way, this is the bullcrap that you get right here. This is it, right? This is it. You get stupidity on the internet. 2 million people. 2 million people listening to stupidity, and your family don't even know. Your family and friends don't even know. Imagine pulling up to church on Sunday morning. Trying to, Lord, we thank you. We love you for this Sunday. We thank you for all of the things that you're doing. Sister Smith, how you doing? Hey, are y'all okay? Can you step into my office? I was about to, we're about to go greet the visitors. The Johnsons got it. But I need you and Brother Smith to step into my office. So it's coming to my attention and staff's attention, because they actually watch TikTok. I don't. Randy and Stacy are going through something. What's going on with that? I don't know. What are they going through? I didn't know they were going through anything. Oh, well, she said she wanted a divorce. A divorce? What are you talking about? Yeah, on TikTok. Here's the video. I never even knew anything about that. I didn't know about that, Pastor Jones. We didn't know. We came here to have a nice, bright Sunday. Church nap, afternoon Sunday nap, and we're going to get ready to go to work the next day. But not with her, an embarrassment to the family. But they don't care about that. They just care about how they feeling in the moment. What a nightmare. What a freaking nightmare to be around here, listening to the nonsense. And then they just go on like they ain't said nothing. In these other videos, they just go on like they ain't said nothing, like nothing has ever been done. Oh, I didn't just say that I wanted to divorce my husband and he was perfect and he was all of these great things. I ain't said nothing. Why is everybody so upset? Why is everybody so worried about my business? Why is everybody so worried about what I got going on? Because you put that out there. You said something very silly. You said, let me even say this to you. You said something that should have been reserved for offline, private conversation. Y'all out here moving the way y'all want to move. And then you wonder why men don't want to follow behind you. They don't want to chase. They don't want to pursue. At this point, it's just easier to stay single. It's easier to get you up out my face. Because if you're going to keep on going rogue, oh, well, you're being controlling and manipulative. You're watching over what I post. Narcissist. No, I should be able and comfortable with you going out there and saying, look at my garden. Everybody look at my garden. What I'm growing tomatoes. Look at that. They're coming along just fine. The grapes died. The lemons are looking real good. The cucumbers, they did all right. I'm going to try it again. You posting that type of stuff. But instead, you're posting stuff about our relationship and how we're on the rocks, and then want to put on the innocent act. Shut the camera down, delete the video, and go to therapy immediately.
Okay, the video of me opening up about my marriage has over almost 3 million views now. And if you go look at it and read the comments, you will find a lot of really harsh, rude comments. And the reason why I'm going to continue to show up on here and talk about this issue is because I know that I'm not the only woman in my shoes that is feeling the way that I feel, who feels maybe unsure about their relationship or feels like a disconnect in their marriage. And
that's not the issue, by the way. You know, people ain't getting on your case just because you done got on here talking about your problems. It's the fact that you got on here talking about divorce to a man that's you call perfect. He's good. Why are you divorcing that man? Well, I ain't where I want to be. That's a you problem. You trying to make it about him.
For the majority of the comments, the women showed up with compassion, with ideas, with advice, with books, and all of these things. And men mainly showed up with judgment, assumptions, insults, like vulgar comments. And maybe that, like that lack of emotional safety when women open up, like maybe that's a part of why so many women feel unseen in their relationships.
But that don't have nothing to do with you, because you said your husband wasn't doing that.
Or feel similar to the way that I do. Now, my husband does not react that way.
Exactly. Shut up.
But if you go read the comments as a woman, you may realize like, okay, men, maybe this isn't on the women of why the divorce rates are skyrocketing, which that's like the comment of most of the men is saying that, oh, women are the reason why. Like,
again, you don't need to be worried about other women. You need to be worried about yourself and your husband. Moving the goalpost is what she's doing. We don't want to hear about what the 49ers doing. Let's worry about what we got as a team. Oh, they running a play over there. Oh, they got a pass play. Oh, they got a different playbook than us. Who cares? Run your game plan. Don't worry about what they got going over there. Let's keep the goalpost right here. We don't want to move the touchdown 20 yards back. It's right here. We don't need it 40. Right here. We need it right here. You're trying to escape accountability and people holding you to it.
there's so many divorces recently or whatever. I'm not like blaming men for all divorces. I'm just saying maybe instead of coming in hot with like blame and judgment, maybe be more curious and ask more questions. Because when women open up about maybe something that's missing in their marriage, I feel like we often get called like selfish or dramatic, or like a lot of people like saying, oh, well, your husband should just leave you if you're not happy. Like,
didn't you say, you're saying that people should ask questions, but didn't you say, I'm going to tell you what I want you to know? They forget what they're saying, but it's a man's fault for not asking questions.
You have the perfect man, like, and he can't, whatever. Like, this is why we're not getting married, is because even if we're perfect, which by the way, no one is, okay? I didn't go on that video to bash about my husband, so of course I'm not going to get on there and air all of our dirty laundry. I was simply saying, this is how I feel, this is what's going on in our marriage, and what advice do you have? So instead of maybe attacking people for speaking up about how they're feeling, we ask more questions, or we give advice of what we think would help instead of like putting them down. And maybe that's the real reason why women feel such a disconnect in their relationships, or feel like they can't speak up about these things, is because of that exact reaction that you're giving in my comments. So you're just further validating why so many women feel the way they do, which may be similar to the way that I was feeling. I spoke up and made that video, but not because I wanted to bash my husband or air my dirty laundry, but to say like, hey, something's missing. I want to fix it. I want to keep my family together. I want to have a good, happy marriage that we're both satisfied with. And like, what have you found that's worked for you that could help me do that? And like, women responded with love. Most of the men responded with anger. And so I just feel like that's pretty telling. So if the men want to comment and say rude things, you're just further validating what the other women that are coming on the post are saying, which is, hey, I feel similar. Or
you said you read books. You said you went to therapy. You said you tried a lot of other stuff. You said you actually didn't really care for therapy. What is somebody going to tell you that hasn't already been said? What are you trying to figure out? What you're actually trying to figure out is how to make it more in your favor. Well, I really want to do this, but it seems kind of selfish of me to say that. I want more out of the relationship for me. Is really what you actually want. I don't want to be identified so much as a mom, so much as a wife. I want to carve out my own lane and be who I am. Heard, but you're also that. You wanted to be a mother, so you are now a mother. You wanted to be a wife, so now you step into the role of a wife. What kind of sense does it make for somebody that says, I want to be a CEO, to then be hired as a CEO and said, you know what? I think I want to be an analyst. I think I want to be an engineer. What? You said you wanted to be a CEO. Yeah, but after further, just not happy with it. Okay, then go be an analyst. Well, the CEO job is it pays really well. The benefits are pretty good. Until I can find a job as an analyst that pays like a CEO, I don't think I'm ready to move. Newsflash. You're not going to find it because an analyst job is what it is. They get paid what they get paid because they have the responsibilities that are different from a CEO. You just take the good with the bad. That's what a lot of these men are saying in your comments. You're sitting up here saying the man is perfect. Well, nobody's perfect. We know that. Which is why we're trying to figure out why you're complaining. We know that there's issues and there's problems. Well, women came with love and compassion and understanding and books and questions and comment and da. Nonsense. Anytime you don't want to be held accountable, then you start making excuses. Let me ask you, can you show us your phone about how many of those books that you actually Googled? About how many of the therapists that you actually looked up? How many of the resources? Or did you just get back online and say, you know what? I see these DMs, but I'm gonna get back on here and start complaining again. How about that? Accountability. You said something that was out of line. Men are responding. You know what this is? And I don't want to condone the vulgar comments and just the flat out being disrespectful. But it's men saying, hey, the women can do what the women are doing. I have no problem with that. But you're crossing a boundary. That's what your husband's not saying to you. But that's what men are really honestly and truly trying to tell you. You're crossing a boundary. You should not be doing this. You've gone too far. You're in a relationship. You're there to protect your relationship at all costs. That's what you said. When nobody was around. When 3 million people were out doing their own thing, eating McDonald's, chilling at a beach, you were at the altar talking about, I vow to protect my relationship. I vow to protect you. Good, bad, all of that. And here you are not doing that. That's where you need to be fit. That's your problem. You don't have any respect for the relationship.
I feel the same about, my relationship, but I don't feel like I can talk about it because of the way you're acting. And again, this is nothing like to say that's how my husband treats me or acts, but to say like, you can't get in my comments and say, this is why marriages aren't working these days, is because women are honest and open about their feelings. But maybe take a look at the comments and say, oh, maybe it's because when women open up and want to be vulnerable and share, like express their feelings or whatever, like they get attacked and say, you should just be happy with what you have, or he should be the one that leaves you, or like you're asking for a fairy tale, those things don't exist, or whatever. Like that's not fair. That's not fair. And women should feel like they can open up and express how they feel without being met with that judgment, with being met with compassion and trying to understand their feelings, which is what my husband is doing, which is like, so I'm not saying this about my husband. I'm saying this about the thousands and thousands of disgusting men in my comments that are just...
you're really just making it worse. Well, I open up about my feelings and my husband listens to what I say. So again, what is the problem? This is why the men are in your comments. Because when you want to hear, oh, baby, it's okay. You're so right. Your feelings are valid. Men are saying, wait a minute. So this man is doing what you want him to do. He's not invalidating. He's listening to what you're saying and trying to do it. What you can expect from any person in a relationship that's actually trying and that actually loves you, and you still have a problem. That's what they're saying.
Further validating women in general who feel judged or want to leave their marriages because that's the way their husbands are acting. So maybe if your first instinct is to attack a woman for sharing her pain or her feelings, maybe ask yourself, like, what does that say about you? Not about her.
You've done enough today. You've done enough for a lifetime. It's time for you to be quiet. Shut this account down. Go get the help that you need for your family. Love your life. Love your kids. Love your husband. You got a beautiful family. Commit to that. Do that. You said you were an entrepreneur. Go be an entrepreneur. Go rock it out. Go get the bag. Learn that new dynamic. Your husband is ready and willing to take the journey with you. What more could you ask? So many women want a man to support them, to say, yeah, babe, you can do it, to hype them up. Your husband is doing that. That's the problem. You're still not satisfied about a man that's trying to give you his all. I saw the man somewhere running behind the stroller. Oh man, men always have the women taking care of the children. The man is running behind the stroller doing what good dads do. He's taking care of the kids. Y'all out on vacation swimming in the water? I mean, my God, what are you looking for? That's what has men puzzled. You don't need to be validated all the time. Men are natural problem solvers. So when you come to them talking about nonsense, you should have, if you didn't want this to happen, you should have gone to your girls. Hey, this is what's happening. I don't know what to do. I mean, he's a perfect guy, but I'm feeling like, what am I missing here? Am I missing something here? Like, where do I go? Do I need to read a book or something like that? I'm just searching for answers. That's all. He's the perfect guy for me. I just feel like there's something in our relationship that maybe I'm not doing, maybe he's not doing, maybe both of us are not doing it. Maybe both of us are guilty. But I'm just trying to figure out what's the next. Okay, we have kids. I'm trying to be an entrepreneur. He's taking a step back from work, but I just want to make sure we're on the right path. You're a classic overthinker. You're one who analyzes everything, right? That's what it seems like to me. Fine. There's people like that. You need to get control of that. You're always looking. What's next? What do I do? What about this? What about that? That's where you're getting yourself in trouble. Now you're looking for help from everybody. They say, I don't know what to do. I'm at my wit's end. I've tried this. I've tried that. And I wouldn't be reaching out if I didn't need help. That's essentially what you're saying. I come on here and TikTok really is the last place that I would have wanted to go. And it's probably going to blindside a lot of people, but I just need help. I want my marriage so bad that I'm willing to put my business out there in hopes that I can find some women to give me the answer. And then I can say, this is the power of TikTok. I put my stuff out there. I was vulnerable. I was scared. I didn't know how it was going to go. And somebody in the comments gave me an answer, and that saved my marriage. So I'm trying to turn back and give you the same answer and say, hey, when I was going through my marriage, I asked this question and I got a response back. I did it. It didn't work at first. It was hard, but I did it. And now I'm happier. My life is great. We're thriving. We love each other more now than ever. A success story, kind of like a movie, kind of like a fairy tale, right? But there's ways that you go about it. That's what the men in the comments are trying to tell you. Maybe some of them are not saying it the way that it probably should be said. Maybe some of them are going overboard. But the way you're going about it, you have to take accountability for that. You're going about it the wrong way. Period. End of story. You probably did. Did you even ask him if you could post that? Did you even say, hey, babe, I'm just talking about my feelings. This is what I'm about to post. Do you feel comfortable with that? That's showing concern for his feelings and what he thinks. That might be a problem in the relationship. You're operating independently, not really working as a team. And so it's kind of like, are we even together? And once again, we all just assuming. We're assuming. But based on these videos, I know you probably came to get some real, actual, genuine help. You at the end of your rope. But take the advice. Take the criticism. I know it probably don't sound good. I know it probably makes you feel terrible. But I think that you did cross a boundary. And I think there's better ways. If you actually sit back and talk to your husband about it and really actually listen to what he says, I think he'll tell you the same respect that you're looking for and opening up and telling men that they should allow. I think you should allow this space to your husband and see where he goes. That's part of allowing him to be the leader in the home, is giving him space to say, okay, well, this is my decision, and following that and listening to that and actually taking heed of that. But you jumped the gun. You ran in front of him and you just, I didn't think it would hurt. A lot of women think that. You didn't consider the man. He just did it. If it were in reverse, you want that man to consider you. And darn near almost everything that he does. Now, like I said, if you posting something about apples and your garden and stuff, that's not really all that personal. But when you start talking about your relationship and the dynamics, and then people start commenting on it, and you start following that commentary or that advice, and they really don't know but what you taught them or what you told them and shared with them, you're leaving yourself wide open for potential trouble. I mean, anyway, I hope it all works out. I hope y'all find a situation or a solution to your situation. I hope it gets better.